Check 1 2 1 2. 1 2. Check 1 2.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hello.
Welcome to Shirley's Bat Mitzvah. I have never shared the pulpit with a 100-year-old person, and this is not going to be the last time I do it. We're thrilled to have you here. We're thrilled to celebrate with you, and we're thrilled to be part of your family. We begin this evening, as we do each Shabbat, with music. Join us.
You'll find the words to this opening prayer, opening blessing on your song sheet. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yadalai dai dai yadai dai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yadai dai dai yadai dai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yadai dai dai yadai dai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yadai dai dai yadai dai. I will build this world from love. I will build this world from love. Yadai dai dai yadai dai. And you must build this world from love. Yadai dai dai yadai dai. And if we build this world from love, yadai dai dai yadai dai, then God will build this world from love. Yadai dai dai yadai dai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yadai dai dai yadai dai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yadai dai dai yadai dai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yadai dai dai yadai dai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yadai dai dai yadai dai.
Continue on the sheets that you received with Lachuna Ranana.
Let us sing out to God, the maker of all, sure and strong. Let all of creation from mountain to sea hear our song. Lechonei ranenah, ya la 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 la. La la la, Nahariya, ya la 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 la. Letzor Yishenu, ya la 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 la. For all of the wonders and all of God's lights, we rejoice. So now let us listen with all of our hearts to hear God's voice. Lechonei ranenah, ya la 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 la. La Ya la 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 la, Litzor Yishenu. Ya la 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 la, Ya la 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 la, Ya la 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 la.
We continue now as we turn to page 20 and join together in Lecha Dodi. When we reach the final verse, we'll rise in body and spirit to welcome the Sabbath bride. And I know you're going to want to aim towards Shirley when you do that, but Shirley is not the Sabbath bride tonight, right? Unless you got different plans than I got. So we'll turn and face the entrance where the Sabbath bride enters in, and we'll welcome the Sabbath bride together. Join us on page 20.
Ya la 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 Lecha Dodi, Ya la 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 Likrat Kala, Ya la 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 B'nei Shabbat, B'nei Shabbat Kamila, Ya la 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 Lecha Dodi, Ya la 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 Likrat Kala, Ya la 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 B'nei Shabbat, B'nei Shabbat Kamila, Shamor v'Zachor v'Dibor Echad, Ishmiyanu El HaMiuchad, Adonai Echad, Shemo Echad, Shemo Tiferet v'Lithilah. Ya la 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 Lecha Dodi, Ya la 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 Likrat Kala, Ya la 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 B'nei Shabbat, B'nei Shabbat Kamila, Likrat Shabbat Lechu v'Neilcha, Ki mekor Habiracham Velosh Mikedem Nesucham Sof Ma'aseh V'Mashava Tchila, Ya la la Ya la 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 Lecha Dodi, Ya la 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 Likrat Kala, Ya la 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 B'nei Shabbat, B'nei Shabbat Kamila, Hitoreri, Hitoreri, Hivaorech Kumi Hori, 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 Shedaberi, Kivod Adonai Alayik Nigla, Ya la la, Ya la 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 Lecha Dodi, Ya la 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 Likrat Kala, Ya la 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 B'nei Shabbat, B'nei Shabbat Kamila, Boi v'Shalom Atzeret Bala, Gam B'Simcha U'Vetzolam, Tochem Boneh Am Segulam, Boi Chalam, Boi Chalam, Ya la la, Ya la 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 Lecha Dodi, Ya la 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 Likrat Kala, Ya la b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekam elai, la lechanuti, la nikrat kala, la b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekam elai.
We continue now on page 26, and we join together in the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitgadal ve'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'almadi v'rach Yerutei v'yamlich malchutei b'cha yechon uv'yomechon uv'chayetecho beit Yisrael bagala uv'izman kariv imeru.
Amen.
Yehi shmei Rabbah bevarach lehalam ul'almei almaya. Yitbarach ve'yishtabach v'yipah v'yitromam v'yidaseh v'yitada v'yitale v'yitala shemei dekudsha
Brichu
lehela mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imeru. Amen.
We rise in body or spirit as we join together in the Baruch Hu, found on page 28.
Am I awake? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Am I prepared? Are you listening? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you hear my voice? Do you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la.
We continue together on page 31 at the top. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Hukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu B'shokbeinu u'bekumeinu Nasiach b'chukecha ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו לאורך ימינו ובהם יסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. 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 ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We continue together on page 39 at the top of the page. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Bichamocha ba'elim Adonai. כמוך נדר בקודש, בי כמוך באלים אדוני, בי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות אוסף אליל, נורא תהילות אוסף אליל אדוני, ימלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך ראו בניך, וכי הים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la.
Earlier today, I asked Shirley how she made it to 100. And she said there's no secret, it's just day by day. And the answer, I think, from Shirley is more than it's just day by day. I think it's about day by day and how we interact person to person. And it is what Shirley does in each of those days that counts. It is looking out on each other and other folks that she encounters and seeing them with a smile in her heart. That's part of the secret too. So when we look around the world, when we leave our homes, when we're walking down the aisles of Giant Eagle, are we smiling? Are we greeting each other with kindness? Are we seeing the best in each other? Are we seeing people who are created by God? That's one of Shirley's secrets. She does that. Now, how she manufactures that, I have no idea. I wish I had a fraction of it. But Shirley has taught me that life is better when we let love and understanding be among us, when peace and friendship become our shelter from life's storms. God, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. We continue on page 44.
We have much to celebrate on this Shabbat. Such song of joy, Yismechu. Yismechu b'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei odei Shabbat. Yismechu b'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei odei Shabbat. Mekadeshei, Mekadeshei Zivi Shabbat. Kulam yismehu veitangu mitubecha Shabbat. Yismehu b'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei odei Shabbat. Yismechu b'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei odei Shabbat. U'ashvi'i ratzita bo v'kidashto Shabbat. Chemdat yamim oto karata Shabbat. Yismechu b'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei odei Shabbat. Yismechu b'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei odei Shabbat. Zecher lemase bereshit Shabbat. Zecher lemase bereshit Shabbat. Yismechu b'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei odei Shabbat. Yismechu b'malechutecha, Shabbat V'koreo neg Shabbat.
As we turn to page 46, I invite all of you to rise in body or spirit once again as we join together in the evening tefillah.
Adonai Sfatai Tiftach Adonai Sfatai Tiftach Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha Adonai Sfatai Tiftach Adonai Sfatai Tiftach Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotzeinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו את אישי עפר. מי כמוך בעד גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים וכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue silently now through page 63, including both the prayers of the prayer book and our own personal private prayers. Please be seated at your own pace.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki Ata hu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki Ata hu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam.
We turn now to page 253 in our prayer books for a special prayer for healing. The Mishaberach prayer seeks God's blessings for all among us, our family and friends, or members of our community who are in need of special prayers for healing. On this Shabbat, we think especially of Alex Botkin, Murray Reinwald, David Shmuel ben Sarah Riva, Harav Rachel bat Shmuel Lefruma, Aharon ben Sarah, Marty Haken, Erica Lozen, Neil Linder, Jonah Hart, Dana Green, Leonard Brody, Dale Craghead, Aaron Berezovsky, Ira Berezovsky, Vivian Picard, Jerry Ann Morgan, Rose D, Ned S, Stanley W, Ann B, Chana, Mel Koffold, Jill Fullen, Beth Ann Rush, Lee Gutkin, Yermatia Shulamit, Bat Miriam Baruch, Ruth Stock Zober, Olivia Hibble, Lynn Fields, Paul Marty, Tony Linder, Amber Terza, Nancy Lardo, Anthony Lardo, Minna Shapiro, Sandy Golem, Richard Krugel, Ed Fleming, Carl Mormer, Roz Richmond, Arya Anstey, Kelly Dion, Sean Walsh, Frank Fisher, Susan Tabor, Erica Berman, Hirsch DeLynn, Silas Bedford Jack, Selma Rive, Jessica Schiller, Arlene Fenster, Bob Gluckman, and Mary Herbst. If there are other names to mention, I invite you to rise now, and as our eyes meet, to name those names out loud. We join together praying for all of them. Please join us in the middle of page 253.
May the source of strength us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, bless those in need of a healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, rofeh hacholim. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, healer of the sick. And now some moments to share good things. I know Shirley's got a birthday, but she can't have the only simcha here. Who else has something good to share?
All right, I have been roped into this, but so we're new CMU students. So I'm a new PhD student, and Colin next to me is a new master's student.
Welcome.
So yeah.
Good to have you here.
First time here.
Dietrich, yeah, Dietrich, yep, English.
Excellent. Yep. Don't worry, I'll take care of you.
My daughter, the perennial student and graduate of many Sinai schools and camps, is starting her master's in public health at University of Michigan and will be studying the health effects of public housing on the poor. Woe that she finally be away from tuition in a few years.
Rachel, somebody have a bat mitzvah coming up?
I do. I started 7th grade on Thursday. And yes, I have a bat mitzvah coming up. September 9th.
Are you going to join our new dance team? We celebrated Zach's 16th birthday a couple days ago, and school starts on Monday.
More of a celebration for my parents than me.
I knew it.
We are very happy that Molly and Josh just got engaged a couple weeks ago.
Yay, mazel tov.
Thank you.
Who else has something good to share? We got a bunch over here. We'll get you.
Okay, September 9th is my 17th year of survival of my traumatic brain injury.
Wow, mazel tov.
My grandson, Alec Silverblatt, had his adapted Edgar Allan
Put it up to
Poe's-
your mouth.
My grandson, Alex Silverblatt, adapted Edgar Allan Poe's Telltale Heart, and it will be playing with him as the actor at Public Theater for the month of October.
Nice.
Tomorrow is my husband Ed's birthday.
Is he getting a new convertible?
No, he is not.
I'm trying.
You try.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
I'll give you the 20 later.
Marvin and I just celebrated our 50th anniversary.
Mazel tov.
Hi everyone. My mother and I were blessed to be here tonight as
Thanks to
Yes.
Dan and Drew who invited us, so we're very thankful.
yes. I'm a UPIT pre-med student, so I'm preparing for my MCAT soon, so pray for me. 528 score. Amen.
Nice.
I'm very happy to be here for my aunt's 100th birthday party.
Nice. Oops. Where are you visiting from?
Florida.
We live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida now.
Nice.
I got to go to the Brooklyn Museum of Art with my grandson Wyatt.
Nice.
My son, after 7.5 years, proposed to his girlfriend, so
Mazel
they're
tov.
engaged. I'm going to get a daughter.
Hey. Somebody has a birthday today, too.
I'm very honored to share the same birthday as Shirley Goldstein, and I hope I make it to 100.
I do, too.
I do too.
You're about 80% the way there, aren't you?
Indeed.
Nothing good, Bob?
Everything's great.
Everything's great. You sure? Will she say that?
Absolutely.
All right. Just checking.
I hope I'll remember every noun I mean to say. My middle son, Akiva, who was raised on Tzedek Tirdof, and for a number of years he has been an activist, civil rights attorney in the South, in putting himself in danger, actually, with his position and his activist jobs. But now he's accepted another position, part-time position, to be teaching law for the University of Virginia for a clinic of nonprofit attorneys.
Nice.
Also, his daughter, my granddaughter Isla, is 5, and she is starting kindergarten this week.
Nice. Nice.
And riding a bike with no training wheels.
Nice.
Our granddaughter Sarah saved a life this week.
How'd
as
she
a-
do
As
that?
a part-time EMT.
Very nice. Good.
Within the last month, we've launched 2 children, so we are empty nesters. We've got one with a full-time job in Madison, Wisconsin, and the other one is a first year at Syracuse University.
Very nice.
And we celebrated our 25th anniversary.
Who else?
She can go first.
It's been a year since we moved in.
And I got a promotion at work. I'm the new department manager for our health policy and operations department and a senior principal health economist.
Nice. Very nice.
My parents just celebrated their 25th wedding anniversary.
Nice. And you forgot.
Yeah, they did.
All right, Rabbi Gibson, come on up with me. Cantor, come on over here. There is no script for a 100th birthday blessing. And so I'm turning it over to Rabbi Gibson.
Shirley, I'm not going to make you look up to me because I look up to you every single day. It says in our tradition, in the 5th chapter of Pirkei Avot, the chapter of the Fathers, the 21st teaching, there are rabbis in the room, I have to quote sources, by the way, that when we reach certain ages, we reach a certain level. And it says when we reach 70, which is a third of a lifetime will go for you already, you're seva, you're fulfilled. And when you're 80, you reach gevurah, a level of strength. When you're 90, you're a little bent. 100, it says, what are you doing here? You have always broken trends. You have always exceeded expectations. Only 10 years ago, you were teaching the board the institutional history of Temple Sinai and teaching them to love it the way you have loved it over all these decades. What I want you to do, the way Rabbi Feldman would have you do, is to look out at these people and look at the love on their faces and know that we cannot bless you more than you are already a blessing. And we love you with all of our hearts. May be blessed in this next chapter of your life, where you have more to do and we have more to learn and gain from you in the matters of love and life and the heart. Amen.
Amen. So Shirley, earlier today you lectured me. Am I the only one here who's received a lecture from Shirley recently? Shirley has always been direct, which is a blessing. She lectured me because I haven't visited her since she moved into her new place. And she's right, I haven't. We've talked many times. But in lecturing me, what Shirley was really saying to me was something very deep and profound. It wasn't, where have you been? It was, I want to share more with you. And that's been one of the secrets of Shirley's life. If you walk into the place where she lives, you'll see item after item of how she has shared her life with others. Every piece of her being tells a story. And every part of her life is part of sharing with others. Whether it's here at Temple Sinai, whether it's working as a buyer, whether it's traveling the world, Shirley has spent her life sharing. And so now, tonight, we get to share with you. I asked you earlier what kind of blessing to give you. Remember what you told me? What'd you say? That's exactly it. She told me, bless me with what to have one good day at a time. And that's the best blessing I can give. There is no blessing I can give to Shirley that she doesn't already have. Shirley's blessings exceed all possible imaginations of blessings. And so our blessing for you is that you continue to have one day at a time, not just for days, not just for months, but for years and for decades. There was one before you named Moses. You remember him from your childhood? He made it to 120. That's our prayer for you tonight. That you be like Moses. You are already our Moses here. You show us with everything you do how to make it to the promised land and how to live in the promised land. Keep doing that. Keep leading us. Keep guiding us. And be blessed in every step you take and in every way that you live your life. Be our leader, be our guide, and be our friend. And we'll join together in singing.
We'll ask everybody to please rise as we join in this blessing from our Torah, the priestly benediction. Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
Kein yeh ratzon.
Yaher Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
Kein yeh ratzon.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasim lecha shalom. And in these words of bringing us to this moment, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam.
שהחיינו וקימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם. שהחיינו וקימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
You want to respond? She's asked for the microphone. Please be seated. Hold it up closer to you.
I wish for everybody here.
Hold on.
Thank you. I'll start again. I wish for everybody here an opportunity to experience what I just did. Thank you very much.
Love you. All right, so not only do they not teach you how to do a 100th birthday blessing in rabbinical school, they don't teach you how to follow that either. Shabbat Shalom. Is it all right if I go down here? Yeah. Okay. I'll turn around, I promise. Our Torah portion this Shabbat, Kiteitzei, is filled with powerful lessons. It has perhaps the most important lesson in all of Torah. Do not remain indifferent. When you see something, when you see somebody who is in need, do something about it. And it gets to a tension that we Jews live in and day out. The tension between our own individuality and the community. We Jews live with that tension all the time in 1,000 ways. What comes first? Do we think of ourselves first, or do we think of our community first? When we come together, do we pray individually or collectively or both? When we come together for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur and we keep track of our misdeeds, do we atone for ourselves only or do we do it for each other too? Our tradition teaches us that we've got to do both, actually. We've got to take an accounting of ourselves, but then we've also got to recognize that we're responsible for each other. Now, for some of us, that's easier, right? For Shirley, that's easy. She can take accounting of herself, and there's not so much negative there. For some of the rest of us, she's got to carry a little burden for some of us. But this tension of the me versus the we, of what comes, do I come first or do we come first? This is an essential piece of who we are as Jews. And I would suggest that it's an essential piece of who we are as Temple Sinai. Temple Sinai functions as a place where each of us come in individually, but it works at its best and it thrives at its highest when we lose the individual and come together as a collective. But as easily as I say that, if we lose our individuality completely, we have another problem. And so there is this tension there where we come together collectively, but we honor what it is that brings each of us uniquely here. And we honor the individual gifts that each of us has. And so we do what Shirley has done through most of her life. I can't remember far enough back to get all of her life. Shirley has figured out a way to live for herself, but also for others. If you ask Shirley about her life, she'll tell you about her experiences traveling. She'll tell you about her working life. She'll tell you about her synagogue life. She'll tell you about all of the interactions she has had. She'll not say me all the time. In fact, getting Shirley to say me is a pretty hard trick. Getting Shirley to say I is a little bit of a hard trick. Because Shirley naturally, natively thinks in a plural form of a we, of a connection. And I think, I'm no scientist and I'm certainly no physician, I think it's one of the secrets of her reaching this milestone, is that she's been able to find that tension and make success out of it. She's figured out a way to find her own identity within the greater and to help the greater thrive as a result of who she is individually. She did just exactly what the Torah portion preaches us to do this week, to not remain indifferent. Shirley has spent 100 years not being indifferent. Doesn't matter what the occasion, what the interaction, Shirley is aware of everything going on. If I trip on something, Shirley's going to tell me. I'm positive that you were telling things, you met this afternoon with the president of CMU, right? I'm positive you were giving him updates that he didn't know. Am I right? Yep. And that's how Shirley lives her life. It's how she embraces the world, and it's how she teaches Torah in her own way. Our Torah portion a little later talks about how we treat the stranger, that we treat the stranger warmly and kindly. Shirley has done that her entire life. How many strangers are there in this room right now? Do you have very many who you would call a stranger in here? Only a couple people who are new today. So the two of them might be strangers still, right? But I'd bet anything by the end of the night they're not. That's also one of the tricks. She has learned to treat everybody as she wants to be treated. She has made sure that her life is filled not with strangers, but with more and more friends. She lives that verse of Torah in everything she does. And what a model she gives to each of us. How many of us walk down the street, interact with day-to-day life, and see everybody not as strangers, but as somebody who's holy? How many of us see potential whenever we see somebody new, rather than something else? How many of us, when we encounter somebody who is new or different, open our arms wide and say, how can we connect? This is Shirley's gift. And so I don't know how you planned it to have your 100th birthday on this Torah portion, but there is no Torah portion in all of Torah that fits you better than Ki Teitzei, because your life has illustrated what the Torah is teaching us this Shabbat. Now, I don't know how we're going to repeat this next week. And I don't know how we're going to repeat it at your 101st birthday either. But I can tell you, your life, your example, is precisely what Torah is teaching us this Shabbat. To look out for the other, to welcome the other, to engage the other, to include the other, and to make sure that that we and me differential leans heavily towards the we without forgetting about the me. That's what Shirley has done. And that's a gift that each of us savors and each of us celebrates with you. Shabbat Shalom, Mazel Tov. There are a number of announcements. I hope you've taken a look at the announcement sheet that you received when you entered. The sign-up deadline for the trip to Israel is coming soon, so if you have questions about that, please do let me know. And next Friday night, we will celebrate a mostly musical Shabbat, so the band will be here. And next Saturday night, we celebrate Slichot, the beginning of the High Holy Day season. But in the month of Elul, we remind ourselves that it is a time of introspection, a time of prayer, and we hear the shofar blast. And so if our shofar blower will rise and give us a good tekiah. The new year is coming soon. We turn back to our prayer books. We turn to page 282, and we invite everyone to rise in body or spirit for Aleinu L'Shabeach.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. We pause now to think of those who came before us, those who created this congregation and nurtured it, those who gave us life and with whom we shared life. As you hear the name of your loved one mentioned, we invite you to rise. This Shabbat, we recall the yortzites of Abe Ainsman, Sam Alcaro, Claire Berlin Levine, Walter Boninger, Sidney Brody, Bessie Buckman, Saul Cantor, Samuel Chesler, Shirley Cutler, Sylvia Dactor, Hyman J. Ebenstein, Rena Edelstone, Ethel Eisner, Mark Fagan, Charles Garfinkel, David Giesman, Alan Gerson, Selma Roz Sachs Glick, Betty Gold, Sanford Hafner, Jack Josowitz, George Keller, Minnie Krugel, William Daniel Cundon, Helen Lear, Julius Mayer, Lawrence Edward Monaco, Robert E. O'Connor Jr., Sidney Oringer, Theodore Patz, Edward J. Perlstein, Rebecca Podrat, Eleanor Polechko, Eleanor Quint, Cheryl Rive Radov, Bessie Rosen, Laura Rubin, Karen Sable, Sigmund L. Shea, Israel Schnerov, Saul Shapira, Barbara Salerno, Henry C. Stoffman, William Stoffman, Judith Strauss, Abe Zellman, Albert D. Zecher. And to those names, we add the name of those taken from us just in recent weeks: Benjamin Stein, the nephew of Cherie Lichtenstein. We rise now as a community, as one congregation, and we join together in the words of Mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'galal v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam lo'mei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudashah b'richu, le'elah min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, da miran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May God grant comfort to all of us who are bereaved, and together we say, Amen. We conclude this evening with the new hit wonder from the movie Barbie. It's actually not a new hit. It was popular in the camp world about 20 years ago when the Indigo Girls, maybe even more, when the Indigo Girls first released it. If you know the song, please join with us. And if you want to jam along on your own air guitar, feel free.
This song is particularly appropriate tonight as I was thinking about it. It's a song about the journey of life. I'm trying to tell you something about my life. Maybe give me insight between black and white. Well, the best thing you've ever done for me is to help me take my life less seriously. It's only life after all. Well, darkness has a hunger that's insatiable, and lightness has a call that's hard to hear. I wrap my fear around me like a blanket. I sail my ship of safety till I sink it. I'm crawling on your shore. I went to the doctor, I went to the mountains, I looked to the children, I drank from the fountains. There's more than one answer to these questions, pointing me in a crooked line. And the less I seek my source for some definitive, the closer I am to find, yeah. The closer I am to find, yeah. I went to see the doctor of philosophy with a poster of Rasputin and a beard down to his knees. He never did marry or see a B-grade movie. He graded my performance. He said he could see through me. I sent formulas prostrate to the higher mind. Got my paper and I was free. I went to the doctor, I went to the mountains, I looked to the children, I drank from the fountains. There's more than one answer to these questions, pointing me in a crooked line. And the less I seek my source, the closer I am to find, yeah. closer I am to find, yeah. I stop by the bar at 3 a.m. to seek solace in a bottle or possibly a friend. And I woke up with a headache like my head against a board, twice as cloudy as I'd been the night before. And I went in seeking clarity. I went to the doctor, I went to the mountains, I looked to the children, I drank from the fountains. Yet there's more than one answer to these questions, pointing me in a crooked line. And the less I seek my source, the closer I am to find, yeah. Closer I am to find, yeah. We go to the Bible, we go through the workout, we read up on revival, we stand up for the lookout. There's more than one answer to these questions, pointing me in a crooked line. And the less I seek my source, the closer I am to find, yeah. Closer I am to find, yeah.
Join us for Kiddush and Motzi. Happy birthday, Shirley.